Hey, what is up, my fellow students? Welcome to the third episode of Psychology and Mythology Explained. Today, we are going to do another improv, seeing that I did not do the proper research to explain a topic thoroughly and scientifically. And that is why I have the Divine Comedy with me as a prop. Although I read it, and we're going to talk about it. So, before we begin this lecture, I would like to tell you a story about an ancient king who lived in a kingdom far away a long time ago. Now, this king was very curious and a wanderer and an adventurer, and one day his soldiers came back and told him about an interesting cave they found. So the king went along with them. They went to the cave, they explored the cave. It was a long and hard quest to go through, but eventually they entered the treasure chamber. And in there they found a chest. When they opened the chest, they found a little mirror, blackish, ribbling. It was called the Ancient Lost Mirror of Ink. So they went back, and the magician told the king, "My king, this is a very powerful ancient artifact. It is better left untouched." But the king asked, "What is it? What does it do?" The magician replied, "It shows you whatever you want." So, the king, curious and being the king, started using the mirror. And he said, "Show me the future 1 year from now." And the mirror started transforming and moving. It was a great party, and the king was very satisfied. But then, somewhere in the crowd, far into the mirror, he saw a black hooded man, of course. So, a few weeks went by, a few months went by, and curiosity got the king again. So, he asked the mirror, "Tell me what will happen with my child, my son, my firstborn." And the mirror started morphing again, and it showed a great jousting field, and his son was in ironclad armor, a very successful boy. But amongst the tributes, and a bit closer than last time, he saw a strange figure, again black hooded, staring at him. But he wasn't sure because he couldn't see his face. He just had this creeping feeling. So he put the mirror down. Weeks went by, months went by, and eventually the king's curiosity got at him again, and he said, "Mirror, mirror, show me my daughter's future." So the mirror started transforming once again, and he saw his daughter walking in the crowded streets. And this time, very closely, he saw the black hooded man, and the king died. So, well, that was a jolly story, right? Let's talk about Dante's Inferno. We're going to talk about sin, the swamp, the dark forest, vices, things that we all urge to do because of our evolution or ancestry, because we need it. But we, in a society like this and in the way we do it, it destroys us. It's consumption, it's greed. So, for example, Dante speaks about this a lot. Speaks about the 9 circles of hell. So, what are the. You have sloth, you have gluttony, you have another one. It's sloth, gluttony, and anyway, I'll prepare this better next time. So, you have the 9 circles of hell. There's a former group of 3 to 4. Oh yes, sloth, gluttony, and lust, of course. And the reason he categorizes these, because these are sins against the self, you know. You also get anger, but then you get rage and violence. Then, you know, the circles, you get deeper and you start to commit evil towards others. There is greed, which is also the one of the four sins against the selves. Then we get like violence against others. It's a deeper circle. We get towards heresy, fraud, and then we get to the deepest circle of hell, treason. And Dante, in his book, which we will describe further along future episodes, he makes a journey and the punishments get deeper and heavier and deeper as he travels through the underworld. Until we get to treason. Now, there's a way Dante describes it. I describe it as there's treason against others. There's treason against the self. For example, all the bad choices that you made and all the things you knew deeply inside were wrong, but you still did it and you did it for 10 years and now you're fucked up in this position. But whatever. So, Pinocchio, the movie, the child movie, which is one of the best movies ever made. You know, Pinocchio starts going the bad way, starts getting the wrong friends, ends up into Pleasure Island. And Pleasure Island would be, in my own book, would be like the lair of the Lotus Eaters, or the Valley of the Lotus Eaters. It's the place where you can indulge in all your sins and your vices, and the only price you pay is your youth and your time. You know, as the island eats your life energy, your goodness, and your time. Then you get 30, 35 years old, and you finally realize, oh no, my body's getting old, I'm getting tired, I'm unhealthy, I've lost my youth. Uh-oh, tick-tock, 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 time's up. Right. So, once you realize you escape from Pleasure Island, because both in the movie Pinocchio as in my book, you'll have to escape. And you'll have to do some effort and make some sacrifices. You get to the swamplands. It's like the place where all the monsters you've been ignoring have grown into dragons who are eating the villagers, attacking farms and crops, go rotten, and it's like full of mosquitoes and flies. It's a very bad place, you know. And then it's your job as a hero to basically do the labors to drain the swamp, clean the swamp, slay the hydras, which is an entire episode of its own, of course. Then, of course, just like in Dante's Inferno, you will reach a dark forest where you will wonder, what the fuck have I done with my life? What have I done? What am I gonna do? And then we come to the compass of men. First of all, we have the orientation north to the North Star, right? You need to aim up, which is also something that comes up in all the fairy tales. You have the south, which is the flame, it's the fire inside. Children have it a lot, of course, life beats it out of you. And then you get 30 years old, you're tired, you're sad, you're depressed, there's no more flame. Then you can go to the east on a quest of insight to look at everything you did wrong, that went wrong, that others did wrong to you, to make decisions. This is in my control, this is not. It's like gathering insight, like Odin stuff, you know, like Woden, the main god of the Norse mythology, who sacrifices an eye for knowledge. And with this insight, you also need the iron will to basically clean the swamp, go through the dark forest, clean up your shit, and make something of yourself before it's too late. Because once you're 30, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, clock is ticking. So, work ethic. The only way you're going to get out is by bucketing out the pool. There's no shortcuts, there's no cheat codes. You have to work, especially as a man. Because as a man, you have a burden of performance. And in my situation, for example, I only respect honest gold. What I mean with that is, I only respect the money that I've worked for really hard at minimum wage. Now, that is the gold that I respect. That is the gold I'm not gonna fuck with. And you need to build that up in savings. And then you need to gather it up and do something useful with your life. It's a funny thing because God, meaning, existence, and death, they're all the same thing. It's like I'm born. The price I pay, I'm alive. The price I pay is suffering and eventual death. Immortality is in children. But God provides a path, meaning to have a good quality life, to have a good future for yourself and people around you. It is meaning because we're all going to die, break down, and suffer. What do we do in the meantime? We try to make a good future, build a good future, I suppose. Then I have a final note about women because why not? Like I'm obsessed with it anyway, right? So, the nature of women, just like the nature of the scorpion, is something that you have to trust. And mating and dating and seducing and sex, it all works on primordial systems. Women like bad boys because bad boys bring home the meat and fend off the creeps. Because bad boys fight and they protect. Remember, you're a lover and protector first and a provider second. Always remember that. You have to be a woman's first choice. Like, it's pure economics. They have so much choice. And women turn 30 or they have to settle. Not with the men that they really want, but with the men that is willing to stick by them, but they don't really need to. So that's why the dating scene is a mess. But we can complain and nag about women all day. The point is, be a fucking man and do your thing. What's your mission? What's your career, your job, your occupation? What skill set? You, as a man, don't get to choose the sex or the partners. That is the feminine realm, the feminine domain. You shouldn't be having time. You should be hunting down the mammoth with your hunter buddies. Play around the fields, masculine energy, phallic energy, spread your seeds, the capturing, the commitment, the relations. That's all the feminine realm, which is why women are extremely repulsed by men who do behave like that. Now, because women have the power in sex and relations, it's her fantasy. She's not romantic, she's very practical, but she wants to be romantic. We men, we are very romantic on the inside, but we have to be practical because we keep fucking it up. Because we care too much about these women, and although women say they want it, no, they want a hard, tough, rough man who's doing his shit, who doesn't take her bullshit, because they will bullshit you, they will test you, they will push your boundaries. Because how else would you ever discover someone's true nature if you don't push their buttons? Like, everything can be comfortable and good, like comfort, entertainment, and connection. Those are three basic things we are looking for as human beings, and they will absolutely ruin your life. As a man, you have to go for discomfort, boredom, and loneliness, because in that deep, deep water, you will find out who you are. And it's pain. There's different forms of pain. But in the end, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody cares about you. We all have to do it ourselves. So find out what you want and pursue it ruthlessly. If you want a woman and a family, understand and accept the nature of the beast. Don't be all lovey-dovey. Don't chase. It's women who imagine and wonder and develop the fantasy. It's women who need time to get to know you, fall in love with you. It's women who have to chase you, and it's women who have to earn you. If these three things are lacking, she will never be yours. And if she's not yours, you have nothing. So, my God, this was an interesting vlog. Very chaotic, but I liked it. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.